Hello, English learners. Welcome back to LifeTalk English. I'm Nico.
And I'm Elisa.
So today, we're diving into business presentations. Ever walked into a room and felt like everyone's eyes are on you, waiting for you to start?
Oh, yes. That moment can feel terrifying, right? But don't worry, we're going to make starting your presentation easier than it sounds.
Exactly. And trust me, the first 30 seconds set the tone. Think of it as your hook. You want to grab attention immediately.
Right. One simple trick is to start with a question. Something like, have you ever wondered why our sales numbers dipped last quarter? That pulls the audience in.
Or even a surprising fact. Did you know that 70% of customers decide within the first 5 minutes if they like a product? That's a good hook.
That one would definitely wake people up. But here's a tip. Say it naturally, like you're talking to a friend. Don't overthink it.
Absolutely. You want to sound confident, but not robotic. Even small pauses can help. Try, "Good morning, everyone. Today, I'll share an idea that could change the way we approach marketing." See how that feels calm, but still strong?
I love that. And don't forget body language. Stand tall, smile a little, make eye contact. English words are important, but how you present them too matters.
True. And if you're nervous, it's okay. A tiny laugh or acknowledging your nerves can even make you more relatable. Something like, "I must admit, I'm a little excited to share this with you."
That humanizes you. Plus, it gives listeners a chance to relax with you. Speaking of listeners, if you're tuning in right now, comment your location and local time. We love seeing where our friends are learning English.
And remember, liking what you hear? Hit that like button and subscribe to join us for more. But only if this is your kind of learning. Back to starting strong. Another trick is to preview the main point quickly. Something like, by the end of this presentation, you'll understand 3 ways we can increase customer engagement. Short, clear, and sets expectations.
That's gold. It tells people, stick with me, here's why it matters. And notice we're using simple phrases. Avoid complicated words at first. Your audience should follow easily.
Definitely. And repetition helps too. You can even say, first, we'll look at our current strategy. Then, I'll share some new ideas. Finally, we'll discuss next steps. Simple, structured, easy to remember.
Another little tip, start with a story. Short, relevant stories are powerful. You could say, last month I spoke with a client who faced a big challenge with our product. Here's what we learned. People love stories. They stick in the mind.
Stories also give you a natural rhythm. And as you tell them, you can naturally use English phrases you want the audience to learn, like faced a challenge, we discovered, this taught us.
Exactly. And don't worry about small mistakes. Most listeners are focused on your ideas, not grammar perfection.
That's a relief, right? It's about communication, not perfection.
Right. Now, a tiny cultural note. When presenting in English-speaking countries, it's common to start with a polite greeting, then a hook. For example, good afternoon, everyone. I hope your day is going well. Today, I want to share...
Yes, polite and warm. And don't overdo it with compliments. You want it natural, not awkward. Here's a small practice. Say to yourself, "Hello, everyone. Today I'm excited to share." Feel it in your voice. Try a few variations.
And smile while you say it. Even if you're practicing alone, your brain and voice respond to positive energy.
You can also use hand gestures, just natural ones. Point to slides, gesture when talking about numbers, or even just open your palms slightly. It keeps people engaged visually.
And if your presentation starts online, look into the camera, not just the screen. It feels like you're talking to the listener directly.
Yes, that's huge for remote presentations. A little eye contact, even virtual, makes your audience feel included.
So, to recap, strong openings include a hook with a question or fact, a short preview of the presentation, maybe a tiny story, and confident, natural delivery with body language.
Exactly. And a bit of humor doesn't hurt. Even a tiny joke or light comment can break tension. I promise this won't be another boring numbers lecture.
Perfect. And remember, listeners, if you miss any part of this, you can explore the playlist link in the description to catch up.
Now, settle in, maybe grab a notebook or just relax with your headphones on, and let's ease into today's English journey together.
And that sets the stage perfectly for explaining ideas simply, which we'll tackle next.
So, Elisa, now that we've nailed the opening, let's talk about the next step. Explaining your ideas clearly. Making complicated things easy for everyone to understand.
Yes, this might be harder than it sounds, actually. Sometimes we know our topic so well that we forget others don't. You start talking about synergistic optimization strategies, and people's eyes glaze over.
Exactly. So the trick is to use simple language. Instead of synergistic optimization, you could say working together to improve results.
Right, and breaking ideas into small steps helps too. Like, first, we'll look at the problem. Second, we'll explore solutions. Third, we'll see the results. Simple numbers or first, second, third make it easy to follow.
Another thing, analogies are your friend. Say you're explaining a new workflow. You could compare it to something familiar. Like, think of our project like baking a cake. Each step matters, and missing one ingredient can spoil the result.
Oh, I love that. Stories and analogies stick in people's minds. You can also repeat key phrases naturally. For example, the main goal here is efficiency. Remember, efficiency is what helps us save time.
That's repetition without being boring. And you can even slow down your pace slightly when explaining complex points. It gives listeners a chance to digest each idea.
Also, visuals help. Simple charts, diagrams, or slides can make a point instantly. But even if you don't have slides, describing things clearly works too. Like, imagine 3 steps lined up in a row, each leading to the next.
And here's a cultural note. When presenting in English, avoid overly formal or technical words unless you're sure the audience knows them. Simple words are usually more effective.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to check understanding politely. You could say, does that make sense so far? Or any questions on this step? It's interactive and ensures your audience is following.
Speaking of interaction, using real-life examples makes ideas concrete. Instead of saying, our team improved workflow efficiency by 15%, you could say, last month, we changed how we organize emails, and it saved each person about 30 minutes a week.
That's so relatable. People can picture it, and it feels practical. And you're also naturally practicing English phrases like saved about and each person.
Another tip, use connectors to guide listeners through their points. Words like so, because, for example, and in other words, are simple but powerful.
Yes. For instance, we need to focus on customer feedback because understanding their needs improves our product. Boom. Clear and logical.
Exactly. And don't worry if you repeat connectors a few times. It's part of natural speech.
Also, contractions make your speech sound more natural. Instead of we will look at the data, you can say we'll look at the data. Slight, but it makes a big difference.
And small pauses after each key point help listeners process information. Don't rush.
Oh, for sure. Pausing is underrated. Even just a half-second pause can emphasize the point. Like, our first step is planning. The second step is testing.
Another little trick, ask rhetorical questions to engage listeners while explaining. For example, why do we need this process? Well, it helps reduce mistakes and save time. It's simple but keeps the audience thinking.
And you can answer in short, clear sentences. Avoid long, winding explanations. One idea per sentence works best.
Right, and it's okay to show enthusiasm. Using words like exciting, amazing, or important adds warmth and energy to your explanation.
And don't forget small jokes, like, if we skip the step, well, our coffee breaks might get longer, but results won't improve.
Exactly. A tiny laugh goes a long way, keeps the mood light and attentive.
So to summarize, simple language, step-by-step explanations, analogies or examples, connectors, short sentences, small pauses, rhetorical questions, and a bit of warmth. That's your toolkit for clear explanations.
Yes, and you can practice this at home. Take a topic you know well, like making coffee or organizing your desk, and explain it aloud in simple English. Record yourself if possible.
And remember, listeners, repetition is fine. Even if you say step 1, step 2 a few times, it reinforces the structure for your audience.
Exactly. And if you ever get stuck, you can always say, "Let me put it another way." It's a natural, safe phrase that gives you a moment to think while keeping the audience engaged.
Perfect. And we're not done yet. Next, we'll discuss how to keep your audience interested throughout so no one drifts off to daydream land.
All right, Elisa, so we've opened strong and explained our ideas clearly. Now comes the fun part, keeping everyone awake and interested.
Oh, yes, that's crucial. No matter how amazing your content is, if people start checking their phones, it's game over.
Exactly. So, first tip, involve your audience. Ask questions, even rhetorical ones. Have you ever faced this challenge before? Or who here has tried this approach before?
And you can even pause after asking a question, giving them a moment to think. It feels interactive and keeps their minds engaged.
Another tip is to vary your tone and pace. Don't speak like a robot. Slow down for important points, speed up slightly for excitement, and pause for emphasis.
Yes, and gestures matter too. You can move your hands naturally, point to visuals, or just open your palms. It keeps the audience visually engaged.
Humor is another secret weapon. A tiny, lighthearted joke or funny example can make your presentation memorable, but always keep it professional, of course.
Like, if we don't follow this plan, our office plants might start filing complaints. Small, silly jokes break tension and help listeners relax.
Exactly. Another thing, storytelling. Humans are wired for stories. Even a short story about a client, a team challenge, or a personal experience can pull people in.
And while telling stories, you naturally repeat key English phrases, like we discovered, we realized, or this taught us. It's great language practice for listeners.
Another tip, use visuals or slides, but don't overload them. Simple diagrams, charts, or images can reinforce your points without overwhelming your audience.
And if you're presenting online, you can even share a screen or use virtual props. Anything that makes your explanation clearer and keeps eyes on you.
Also, inviting small responses helps. Even nodding, thumbs up, or a brief, "Does that make sense?" keeps listeners engaged without turning it into a full discussion.
Yes, and when someone reacts or laughs, acknowledge it. Glad that made you smile. Small interactions make the room feel alive.
Another trick, repeat key phrases naturally. People remember repeated ideas, like efficiency is key. Remember, efficiency saves time. Short, simple, repeated points stick.
And don't forget to use body language and facial expressions. Excitement, curiosity, surprise, all those expressions convey meaning beyond words.
A little cultural note here. In English-speaking countries, slight humor and friendly engagement are encouraged, but sarcasm can be tricky. Keep it clear and inclusive.
Yes, avoid jokes that might confuse someone learning English. Stick to light, simple humor everyone can understand.
Another tip, summarize small sections as you go.
So far, we've seen how to improve workflow efficiency. Next, let's look at team collaboration. Small recaps help people follow.
And ask reflective questions too, like, have you seen similar challenges in your work? It makes the audience connect your content to their own experience.
Using phrases like, in other words, or let me put it another way, is also helpful. It keeps explanations fresh and reinforces comprehension.
And remember to smile. Even a small smile conveys warmth and confidence. People feel more connected to presenters who seem approachable.
Right. And if you notice eyes glazing over, switch tactics. Maybe tell a quick story, ask a question, or move a little. Small changes keep energy up.
Another idea, use props or visuals metaphorically. For example, holding a notebook and saying, this notebook represents all the steps we'll cover. It's memorable and fun.
And importantly, avoid speaking too fast. English learners in the audience need time to process. Clear, moderate pace is key.
Yes, pauses are golden. They emphasize points and give your audience time to think. Plus, it helps you breathe and stay calm.
And lastly, don't forget tiny callbacks to earlier points. Like, remember our opening story about the client challenge? This next step addresses that exact problem. It reinforces continuity.
Perfect. So engaging the audience is a mix of questions, tone variation, gestures, humor, stories, small recaps, and careful pacing. A little energy goes a long way.
Exactly. And with practice, these techniques become natural. You'll notice your listeners staying alert and even participating without you prompting too much.
And that's the secret, isn't it? Natural engagement, like having a conversation with your audience rather than delivering a monologue.
Spot on. And up next, we'll explore handling questions. Because let's be honest, no presentation is complete without at least a few curious or tricky questions from the audience.
All right, Elisa, so you've opened strong, explained simply, and kept the audience engaged. Now the part that can make even experienced presenters nervous, handling questions.
Oh, yes. Sometimes a question can feel like a surprise attack, especially when it's unexpected or a bit tricky.
Exactly. The first rule, stay calm. Take a small pause before answering. It shows thoughtfulness and prevents you from rushing into a confusing response.
And it's okay to repeat the question for the audience. Something like, that's a great question. You're asking about our marketing timeline, right? This confirms you understood and gives everyone time to process.
Absolutely. Repeating also gives you a moment to structure your answer. And remember, simple language is your friend. Don't overcomplicate your response.
Right. For example, if someone asks, can you explain how the budget allocations work for multiple departments? You can say, sure, let me break it down step by step. Then use plain English to explain.
Another tip, if you don't know the answer, it's fine to admit it politely. That's a great question. I'll need to check the details and get back to you. Honesty is better than guessing.
Yes, it's much better than giving confusing info. And most audiences appreciate honesty. It shows professionalism.
Using phrases like, let me clarify, or in other words, can also help simplify answers. For example, in other words, we're focusing on the departments that have the biggest impact on revenue. Short, clear, effective.
And don't forget, you can redirect tricky questions without being rude. That's an interesting point. It's a big topic, so I'll follow up after the meeting with more details. Keeps the flow going.
Exactly. And engaging questions can be opportunities to involve the audience. Ask back politely, what do you think would work best in this situation? It encourages discussion.
And repetition helps here too. If the question is complicated, repeat it in simpler words before answering. This ensures everyone understands what you're addressing.
Good point. And body language matters during questions. Maintain open posture, nod occasionally, and smile. It conveys confidence, even if the question is challenging.
Yes, and small phrases like, good point, or I see what you mean, show you're listening and acknowledging the person's input.
A small cultural note, in English-speaking presentations, interruptions for questions are normal.
Respond politely, keep your tone neutral, and avoid defensive language.
And sometimes questions are from learners or non-native speakers. Slow down slightly, avoid idioms, and make your explanations crystal clear.
Humor can help here too. For example, if someone asks a very obvious question, you can lightly say, "Great question. That's actually something we all wondered about at first." Keeps the mood friendly.
Perfect. And if a question is outside your scope, you can redirect politely. That's an interesting point. It's a big topic, so I'll follow up later to explore that in detail. Keeps you in control without dismissing anyone.
Another trick, use examples when answering. People connect with real-life situations. For example, last quarter we allocated budgets this way, and it helped increase efficiency by 10%.
Yes, and don't forget to check understanding after your answer. Does that make sense? Or any follow-up questions? It's polite and ensures everyone's on the same page.
And remember, listeners, handling questions is a skill you can practice. Role play with a friend or even record yourself answering possible questions aloud.
Absolutely. Practice helps you stay calm, find the right words quickly, and use polite phrases naturally.
So, to recap, stay calm, pause, repeat or rephrase the question, use simple language, involve examples, redirect politely if needed, and maintain open, confident body language.
And a little warmth and humor go a long way. Remember, your audience isn't trying to trip you up. They're engaged and curious.
Perfect. And that brings us to our final section, a full practice session where we put everything together and present a new project idea. All right, Elisa, now it's time for our practice session. Let's put everything together. Opening, explaining, engaging, and handling questions by presenting a new project idea.
Perfect. Let's imagine we're introducing a new app for improving team communication. I'll start as if I'm the presenter, and you'll be the audience, and sometimes ask questions.
Sounds great. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to share an idea that could make our team communication much easier and more efficient.
Nice opening. You smiled and looked at us. Great confidence.
Thanks. So our project is a mobile app called Team Link. Team Link helps teams organize tasks, share updates, and stay in sync in real time.
Very clear and used simple language. Organize tasks, share updates. Perfect for all listeners.
Yes, the app has 3 main features. First, a task board to assign and track tasks. Second, instant messaging for quick updates. Third, progress reports to monitor performance.
Excellent. Step-by-step explanation. Easy to follow.
Let me give you a quick example. Imagine you're leading a project, and one team member finishes a task. TeamLink sends an instant notification to everyone so the project moves smoothly.
That's relatable, and the example reinforces your points.
Now, you might wonder, why not just use email? Well, emails can be slow and confusing. TeamLink centralizes communication so everyone knows exactly what's happening.
Great way to address a potential question before it's asked. Proactive.
Exactly. And for engagement, I'd ask, have you ever missed an important update because it was buried in your inbox? Pause. Let the audience think.
That's interactive. Now, I'll jump in with a question. How secure is TeamLink?
Great question. TeamLink uses encrypted connections and secure login. Only team members can access the information.
Nice, simple, clear. And you maintain calm even with the interruption. Perfect example of handling questions.
Thanks. And if someone asked a harder question, like, can it integrate with other software? I could say, currently, we're exploring integrations and will provide updates soon. Polite, honest, and keeps the conversation moving.
Exactly. And now back to the explanation. How about sharing a story? Stories stick.
Sure. Last month, a small team trialed TeamLink. Before using it, they missed deadlines and confused tasks. After just 1 week, their project was more organized and everyone felt less stressed. That's the real-life impact.
Excellent story. Relatable, short, and reinforces the app's value. And notice how you used past tense for storytelling. Missed deadlines, felt less stressed. Great natural English.
Thanks. And for engagement, I'd summarize key points again. Remember, TeamLink helps organize tasks, share updates, and track progress, making teamwork smoother and easier.
Perfect. Repetition helps the audience remember.
And a small joke. No more lost emails, no more frantic searches for that one file. You can even spend extra time on coffee breaks.
That's a fun, light touch. Keeps everyone smiling.
And finally, I'd end with a call to action. We'd love your feedback during the trial phase, so please share your thoughts and ideas. Together, we can make TeamLink even better.
Beautiful closing. Confident, polite, and encourages participation.
And that's our full practice session. Opening, explaining simply, engaging the audience, handling questions, and closing politely. All in one.
Listeners, you can try this at home. Pick a project, a product, or even an idea for your team and practice presenting it aloud. Record yourself, use simple language, and include small pauses, stories, and questions.
And remember, it's okay to make small mistakes. Focus on clarity, confidence, and connection with your audience. That's what really matters.
Absolutely. With each practice, you'll get more comfortable, more natural, and more confident in presenting in English.
And that wraps up our practice session for today. Next time, you'll open, explain, engage, handle questions, and close like a pro.
Wow, what a journey today, Lisa. We opened strong, explained clearly, engaged the audience, handled questions, and even practiced a full project presentation.
Yes, Nico, and listeners, take a deep breath with us. You've absorbed so many useful phrases, techniques, and little tips for presenting in English. It's a lot, but you've done wonderfully.
Remember, confidence comes from preparation, practice, and a calm mindset. Every time you practice, even just aloud at home, you're building skills that will make presentations feel natural.
And clarity is key. Simple words, short sentences, step-by-step explanations, and small pauses make your ideas accessible to everyone. You don't have to sound perfect, you just have to be understood.
Absolutely. And engagement matters too. Ask questions, tell stories, smile, and use small humor. Even tiny gestures or changes in tone keep listeners attentive and connected.
And handling questions. Stay calm, repeat if needed, use simple language, and be honest when you don't know something. Politeness and warmth go a long way.
Now, as you drift toward rest or prepare for your next learning session, imagine yourself standing confidently at the front of a room. The audience is relaxed, nodding, listening intently. You speak clearly, pause naturally, smile, and feel in control.
Picture yourself practicing at home or in a real meeting, applying these techniques. Notice your calm voice, your clear explanations, and the gentle confidence growing in each word.
Learning English, especially for presentations, is a journey. Each step builds your skill, your comfort, and your ability to connect with others.
So celebrate your progress, even the small moments. Every phrase you practice and every presentation you attempt adds to your confidence.
Rest, reflect, and remember, communication is about connection, not perfection.
And with that, dear listeners, we'll leave you with a sense of calm, accomplishment, and readiness for your next English journey.
Sweet dreams of confident speaking, clear ideas, and engaged listeners.
And remember, every practice makes tomorrow a little easier.
Good night, English learners.
Sleep well and keep your English journey gentle and fun.